What you're describing is part of a pattern. And I think it's worth zooming out as part of this conversation about the budget to look at the pattern. And when it comes to climate, I think the only way you can honestly put it is that the Trudeau Liberals have an abusive relationship with the truth. And this is a pattern going back many years. Let's just rewind a second to 2015 and the Paris Accords, and Trudeau just elected, Canada's back, and there was this sense that the Harper years were over and now we were going to have a climate serious government. And then for the next 4 years, he insisted that we could only have a climate deal in Canada if we had a new tar sands pipeline. So, like, people aren't stupid. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is national gaslighting. There's no other way to say it. It's contortionist logic. And unfortunately, the corporate media were utterly complicit in those years. And so we wasted precious years of decade zero on the climate clock, arguing about whether or not we could have a new tar sands pipeline and still have a legit climate strategy. In 2019, that contortionist logic reached its peak when they declared a climate emergency one day and bought that pipeline the next. It's the same pattern of utterly contradictory messages. And our emissions keep going up and up and up. And then the 2021 election last year, on the basis of the analysis and carefully planted political narrative validated by a couple of partisan climate scientists, the Liberals won the narrative that they had the best climate plan of all the parties. They won the election, partly on the strength of winning that narrative, and they immediately launched their new gaslighting campaign, which we're in. Now the message box is we can increase fossil fuel production and export while we lower emissions from the fossil fuel sector. So these mixed messages have had, I think, a profound effect on our society, and the budget is a continuation of this. People are confused. They get these mixed messages, new fossil fuel projects, new pipelines, and all of these contradictory messages. And they think we're doing something, but so everything is okay, but it's not okay. They say it's not okay, but we're still doing the same things. In fact, we're doing more of them. So the public is confused, but these messages do have an audience. And that audience is the oil and gas industry. And the message to them from the Trudeau Liberals has always been and continues to be, don't worry about it. The status quo can continue. And that's a travesty. So now we're a super emitting pariah among rich countries. And the hard truth is that that won't change as these folks in this logic are in power.